Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast. Today is Friday, February 3rd, 2017. I'm Donis Wilkinson-Keynes. The Nevis Electricity Company Limited NEVLEC is advising its customers that until further notice, there will be periods of load shedding island-wide. General Manager Jovan Swanston explains.
Over the last 2 days, our customers have been experiencing some power outages. This is due to a brief load shedding program that some technical glitches at the power station has forced us into. Now, as we are aware, most of the generating sets at the Prospect Power Station are actually outdated and parts are not readily available. In fact, parts have to be fabricated upon request. What this means for us is a lack of reserve capacity. This has made it extremely difficult for us to service these older units. Last year, we purchased and commissioned a 2.5 megawatt containerized unit that brought much relief to the present situation. We immediately proceeded on the maintenance program on the older units. However, having taken one of the units out last week, the new unit developed a problem and tripped offline. We were able to diagnose the problem and have sourced the part. In fact, it is presently in Antigua, even as we speak, making its way to Nevis. Last evening, we developed a leak on one of our turbochargers on another of the older sets. Please be advised, therefore, that until further notice, there will be intermittent periods of load shedding island-wide. We crave your patience and understanding as we continue to work assiduously on the problem to have the power restored in the shortest possible time.
NEVLEC General Manager Jovan Swanston. Focusing on St. Kitts and Nevis' social security on this its 39th anniversary, the Honorable Vance Amy says there is no greater challenge than that of ensuring that our social security remains sustainable. Premier Amy is the Minister of Social Security in the federal government.
This will be essential in order that 39 years from now and even further into the future, we will still have a viable and vibrant social security system that will be in a position to meet the ever-increasing needs of the people of our federation. We are ever mindful of some of the things that we must do, chief among which is social security reform. There's also an ever-present requirement for emphasis on prudent investments for optimal returns. I also feel obliged to highlight the continuing need for the curtailment of rapid increase in administrative costs as one of the several other areas of concern.
Close attention, Premier Amy says, should also be paid to the universally recognized challenges as coined and outlined in the International Social Security Association's recent publicly shared discourse under the caption 10 Global Challenges for Social Security.
The Secretary General of the International Social Security Association, Mr. Hans-Horst Konkolowski, in his foreword to the said report, identified the 10 global challenges which are closing the coverage gap, inequalities across the life course, population aging, employment of young workers, labor markets and the digital economy, health and long-term care, new risks, shocks and extreme events, protection of migrant workers, the technological transition, and the higher public expectations. While some of these challenges may more quickly grab our attention than others, they are all very relevant and serious enough to occupy the attention of all of us in the field of social policy, who share an enduring aspiration for social cohesion and social justice.
Amy was at the time making an address to mark the 39th anniversary of St. Kitts and Nevis' Social Security.
Our principal stakeholders must be encouraged to pay close attention to these challenges and to be prepared to embrace any courses of action designed to treat and cope with them in our effort to build social security for the benefit of this and future generations.
Minister of Social Security, the Honorable Vance Amy. As the Anglican community in the Northeast Caribbean and Aruba celebrate its 175th anniversary, one of the activities to celebrate the occasion here in Nevis will be a presentation on the history of the Anglican churches on the island. Open to the public, the presentation will take place this Sunday.
Our intention is to educate not only our own Anglican members, but those who are so interested in terms of what the churches have been involved in over the years. And we will also highlight certain features which may be particular or unique to each church. And so on the evening of the 5th at St. Paul's Parish Church Hall, starting at 5 p.m., we are hoping to have about a 2-hour presentation on each church in Nevis, each of the 5 parish churches, plus the Cuttle Church. And we are also hoping to have some information on our diocesan crest as well as our provincial crest, what it means. For example, if you see us with something on our t-shirts, what does the symbol and logo stands for? Because, you know, too often we wear things, we do things, but we don't really know what they mean. And so this is a very important undertaking, and we hope that both our Anglican members as well as the general public will come out and support so that they can know who we are, where we've come from, what we have been doing.
Here in Nevis, the 175th anniversary of the Diocese of the Northeastern Caribbean and Aruba is being celebrated with a month of activities in February under the theme Celebrating Our Heritage, Seizing the Moment, Embracing the Future.
Very often you are part of a church and you really don't know where it came from, what has been its highlights and struggles over the years. And for younger persons in particular, they just know, well, my parents go in Anglican and I come and I go Anglican and that's it. And so we believe it is important to know who you are, where you've come from, where you're going. What does these things mean? For example, our logo. Many of our people don't know what the symbols in our logo mean. So we're hoping that they would come out and learn more about who they are, what makes us Anglicans, and about our deep and rich heritage which we have, so that they in turn will carry it on to the future generation. We don't want it to die with us. We want it to continue going on and on and on. After all, 175 years is a very long time. And I dare say none of us will be around for the next 175 years. We hope maybe 25 or 50, but not for the next 175 years. So it is important that we know who we are, where we've come from, where we're going, and so we could continue that rich heritage and that rich tradition which would have passed on to us by our foreparents.
Other activities are a pilgrimage on February 11th, a rally on February 19th, a seminar on February 22nd and the 23rd, a banquet on February 24th, and a closing service on February 26th. Still to come, contractors invited to bid on proposed Pond Hill Drain construction project. The details after this break.
On January 30, 2017, the Alexandra Hospital will be issuing health ID cards to all patients accessing service as part of the introduction of our Health Information System, HIS. The process is simple and will take just a few minutes. A photo will be taken of each individual accessing service, and within minutes, your card will be printed and issued. You will be required to present this card each time you access service at the outpatient department. We are craving the public's cooperation as we implement the new system, which will be of benefit to all. When fully operational, it will significantly improve the quality of service and reduce patient waiting time. Remember, the start date is January 30, 2017. Join the movement in health.
I got my card.
Welcome back. The government of St. Kitts and Nevis is inviting building contractors to bid on the proposed Pond Hill Drain construction, St. John's Parish, Nevis. The works include, but are not limited to, the excavation of existing material, the removal of existing concrete and curbs, placing of granular fill, installation of concrete, construction of masonry drain and manholes, installation of corrugated HDPE drains, installation of metal gratings, and the placing of boulders. Bid or tender documents can be collected from the project coordinator of the Basic Needs Trust Fund BNTF office at the GMBC building on Government Road. Call 469-7214. Fax 469-0173 or email nevbn@sisterwiles.kn. Bidders' qualification information only must be simultaneously submitted by email to procurement@caribank.org. Payment of a non-refundable tender deposit of $250 is required upon collection of the tender document package. The deadline for submission of bids for the proposed Pond Hill drain construction is 2 p.m. on February 23, 2017. Bids will be opened immediately after the deadline. This sub-project is funded by the Government of St. Kitts and Nevis and the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, as part of the Basic Needs Trust Fund Project 7th and 8th program. CDB BNTF procurement rules will be applied to this tender. And finally, here is your chance to become a part of Nevis Culturama history. There is just a little more than 2 weeks left to submit the winning slogan for this year's festival. The slogan competition was launched in January, and Abernathy Liburd, Executive Director of the Culturama Secretariat, says that so far the response has been good.
Persons have been bringing slogans to the Culturama Secretariat. They have been emailing them to the email address that we put out, thesecretariat@culturamanews.com. Thus far, I would say that the response has been very well. We are looking for something that is short, because we do not want anything that is too wordy. Something that is catchy, something that would add some excitement. And so we are encouraging persons to put their creative minds to work. Come up with a slogan, short, catchy, exciting, something that we can use in our marketing campaign for Culturama 43.
The deadline for the submission of slogans is February 20th, 2017. The winner will be awarded season tickets for Culturama 43. Meantime, the Culturama Secretariat has also begun to invite applications for contestants for Culturama's senior pageants.
That campaign will run until March the 30th. What I can say, I have my own, I have handed out about 5 or 6 application forms thus far, mainly for the swimwear, because we recognize that a number of persons are gravitating towards the swimwear.
Liburd also spoke to why he believes participation in the pageants is a worthwhile experience.
I would want to think that the monetary incentives and the training that we offer to the contestants are valuable training. The prizes are valuable prizes, and that should entice persons to want to be a part of these pageants. Also, to be an ambassador for Nevis, because you recognize that in recent years, in the recent past years, our winners have been traveling overseas and have been participating in regional pageants and being an ambassador for Nevis. And so that in itself should be an incentive for persons to want to enter and to want to be the next ambassador for Nevis.
Culturama 43 is set to run from July 27th to August 8th. That's how we end this evening's edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, thank you for viewing. I'm Donis Wilkinson Keynes. Good night.
This one is going out to the land of my birth, Queen City, Nevis.
Truly, one of the few places that has an untouched beauty that has captivated the hearts of many. Nevis is everything you imagine.